You guys have been asking for this one for a while. Let's look at Amazing Box on PTCGO. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sable Eyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to take your suggestion of Amazing Box and give it a crack on PTCGO. This deck comes from Reclev. He posted it on his YouTube channel a couple of days ago, maybe a week or so. I can't remember exactly when. It is an incredibly cool deck with a lot of interesting things that we can do. It's a lot of fun. What we'll do is we'll head over to PTCGO and take a look at the list in just a second. But before we do, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Like the video if you do enjoy this kind of stuff, and the list is down below if you want to play along with us. So, without further ado, let's jump onto PTCGO and check out the deck in its entirety. Alrighty, this deck has a lot going on, so forgive me. I'm going to forget some stuff. I'm going to say some stuff that's dumb. But the fact of the matter is, there's heaps of things we can do with this deck. Let's take a look at a few of the cards that are involved. Now, obviously, it's an amazing rare box, so we're going to have a whole bunch of different amazing rares for us to attack with. Let's start with the one that we have the most copies of, and the one that I would argue is probably the best in Vivid Voltage. It's Jirachi. This card is incredibly versatile. It's got a couple of cool things that it can do in this deck specifically. Dreamy Revelation as a support ability is pretty good. We look at the top two cards of our deck and choose one, put it in our hand. That's fantastic. We also have the option to use Amazing Star as well for a Psychic, Fighting, and Metal Energy, which seems like a lot. We can attach up to 7 basic energy cards from our deck to our Pokemon in any way that we like. So we can potentially use Amazing Star from Jirachi to get a whole bunch of different attackers set up, ready to start attacking throughout the game. So if we can do that, that's great. If we can't, then we've got other ways to organize ourselves. We've got 4 different attackers to use. I'm going to talk about Raikou first, because it's the one that I think I like the most. For a Grass, Lightning, and Metal Energy, we deal 120 damage to the active, and then deal 120 damage to the bench as well. So that means we can get some snipe damage off. Maybe we can put a something like a Crobat halfway to being knocked out on the bench, so that another Raikou can come back and knock out that same Crobat later on. We can take knockouts on support Pokemon like a Rangaroo. There's a whole bunch of different things that this Raikou can do, and actually makes it a relatively consistent way of taking prizes. So really, really like this one, especially since it has a Grass Lightning metal attack cost, which means we can potentially power it up with our copy of Tapu Koko Prism. Dance of the Ancients attaches lightning energy from the discard pile. Luckily for us, our 2 other main attackers are also going to be able to use a lightning energy cost. We've got Zamazenta, which for lightning, fighting, and metal deals 180 and prevents it being damaged by Pokemon VMAX next turn. And this is really cool because if we're behind on prizes, then we realistically can power that attack up in one turn for a metal energy. We attach a metal energy from hand, we use Tapu Koko to power it up with lightning energy, and then we use one of our 3 copies of Karate Belt to reduce the fighting energy cost from that attack down to 0. It means that for 1 energy attachment in that turn, we can deal 180 damage and prevent a knockout from a VMAX, which is really, really good. It's going to knock out things like a Eternatus really, really easy. Pikarom as well. Knock that out, one shot. Fantastic. We also have another really strong attacker. This card is very, very good for a Grass, Fighting, and Lightning energy. Amazing Burst from Rayquaza deals 80 damage times the amount of different basic energy cards that we discard from this Pokemon. Now, for the base cost, that's 3 different colored energy costs. We are going to be dealing 80, 160, 240. If we get an extra one on top of that, we can do 300. If we get an extra one on top of that, which is kind of a little bit of a big ask, but, you know, it's definitely doable in some situations, we can potentially deal 380 damage, which is pretty impressive, frankly. So, actually, it would be more, surely. Is it? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's pretty significant. Knock out VMAX Pokemon pretty comfortably. So, be aware of this as an attacking option. I like this as a bit of a cleanup kind of Pokemon because obviously we are going to discard all of our energy and it can be very, very hard to attach them all back to our Pokemon again. We do have Turbo Patch, so we can use that, but it's a little bit risky. On a coin flip, you know, you're going to need to flip heads to get those energy attached. Finally, our last attacker in the deck is 1 copy of Zacian Metal Arraignment. It's the same attack as the Zamazenta, which I didn't mention. For a colorless, does 30 and attaches an energy from the discard, which is pretty good. Amazing Sword is the main attack here. Usually we're not going to be too worried about it, but for a Grass, Psychic, and a Metal, which we're going to need to manually attach, or use Jirachi, or use Turbo Patches for, we do 150 damage, which is nothing to sneeze at, and if our opponent has a VMAX Pokemon in play, then it will deal an extra 150 on top of that. So we'll be able to deal 300 damage, which is pretty good. It's a Psychic type, so we might be able to get a knockout on a Mewtwo or something like that with 150 damage, but it's only a one-of in this deck because it's the least of our kind of, it's least useful attacker that we have realistically. The other ones are probably a bit better. That is all of our amazing rare Pokemon. We've got Dedenne and also Oricorio for a bit of support. We've got Ordinary Rod because we want to shuffle energy and Pokemon back in. We've got a ton of different energy, 3 Fighting, 3 Grass, 3 Lightning, 3 Metal, and 3 Psychic. There's a lot of it, 15 in total. 3 of each of our different types. We're going to search them out with copies of Viridian Forest. There's 3 copies of that here. We also have 2 copies of Sonia as well, which you can potentially use to find Pokemon or basic energy, depending on how you're feeling at the time. You're usually going to use it for energy in this deck, though, and we will obviously have our 4 Professor's Research, 4 Marnie, and also 4 copies of Boss to get our support going as well. So we've got a really, really interesting deck here. It's really, really cool, fun to play. It's kind of awkward because you do need to know which cards to use in which matchups, and it does take a little bit of time to figure that out. I'm still not actually very good at it, to be honest. But it is a lot of fun, and when you flip heads on Turbo Patch, then the deck becomes incredibly good. So if you're feeling lucky, this might be a deck that you'll enjoy. I'm going to jump into some games now. Hopefully we can get some wins with it. I like the idea of Raikou. I like the idea of Zamazenta. Let's take some knockouts. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, our first game with this amazing rare box. And I think we're going to start off with a quick ball, getting rid of the research here. This is always a hard choice because there's so many different Pokemon you can grab. I think Zamazenta is pretty safe, to be honest. I can attach the Karate Belt, and attach the Grass Energy to the Rayquaza, and then Dreamy Revelation. I may as well grab this Psychic Energy, I guess. It's not really useful to us, but it's at least something. I like the Grass attachment to the Rayquaza there over the Lightning because we can discard it and get it back with our Tapu Koko later on. Unfortunately, the energy that we had in hand wasn't particularly useful for Jirachi, so we might avoid using the Amazing Star attack in this game. And it looks like we're up against a Zacian-based deck. Could this just be ADP? Are we about to play against ADP? Possibly. No ADP just yet, and a top deck, obviously, the Zacian. Now, I feel like we might just research here. Because, I mean, let's just look at the top 2. Okay, Sonia seems good. Actually, no, we can... yeah, let's get the Sonia. We can start setting ourselves up here. We're going to be nice and slow. Our opponent's going to have to get in and out of their attacks a lot. Maybe we do play the Zacian. Now, let's put this on the Rayquaza and then research, because then we've got energy. We've got what am I talking about? The Lightning Energy in the discard pile. We've got the potential to get energy back. I might play this Turbo Patch. Maybe not. Let's just. This game's hard. Let's Turbo Patch. We get heads, which is good. Let's put the Lightning Energy onto that Rayquaza, and that means that if we find ourselves a Fighting Energy next turn, we may actually be able to get a knockout on a Pokemon here. Let's grab Viridian Forest. We can get rid of the Metal and then find, I don't know, what do we want? Like a Lightning, maybe? We want a Lightning Energy? Let's go with that. Seems good. Turbo Patch again. Oh! Oh, jeez. Metal Energy. Let's chuck that onto, let's put it on the Raikou. Let's not be greedy. I think we leave that Jirachi in the active because we've got lots of stuff to do next turn. We don't have the Dedenne though, so we might need to, be a bit lucky here. Hopefully the Viridian Forest stays in play. We can discard the Lightning and grab ourselves a Fighting for Rayquaza, which would be really, really good. We got a great catcher up, a Dedenne here, so it looks like they're going to value the knockout this turn if they can get it. But that's fine by me because we're going to knock this Zacian out, and if our opponent doesn't have anything to do after that, then we are going to be in a really good spot. So I'm not too worried. It is ADP. Are they going to go for the AC this turn? They might be able to if they've got Energy Switch, Water, and Switch. There's 2. There's 2 cards. They've already used Great Catcher to bring out the Dedenne. That would be annoying to leave it there. Just an Intrepid Sword. Okay, so it's not an ideal turn for us, because we still have to do some maneuvering here, and we don't really have a lot of cards to work with. Again, a tough choice. We could just sit and attach energies. I think I want to discard the lightning regardless. Let's play down the fighting, because at least we can... Actually, let's put the metal on the active, and then we can retreat into the Jirachi, because then we can at least get some more support here, which is good. We can use boss's orders at some point to get a knockout, potentially. Because, yeah, at least that metal being in the... not the metal, the lightning being in the discard means that we can potentially attack with Raikou or Rayquaza next turn. We are going to see the ADP using its GX attack here, which is really good for us. I'm happy about that. What are we going to do? We need to do 80... if we attach this fighting energy, we should be able to get a knockout here, which I like. We'll Dream of Revelation and grab ourselves... Either of these cards seem fine. We'll grab the balloon just in case. We will retreat. I think we're going to retreat into Rayquaza and take a knockout here, because we are doing about 300 damage with Amazing Burst. Maybe slightly more, 320? I think I said 300 earlier, but I think it's 320. There we go. Maths is hard, ladies and gentlemen. Maths is pretty tough. Well, we've got the 3 prizes here. Now, our opponent has an attacker set up. But as long as we never play down our Oricorio, they have to take 3 knockouts, which gives us the chance to win the game. So I'm liking that. And if we ever get an opportunity to attack with Raikou, which I'm almost guaranteeing that we will next turn, because we've got Quick Ball, we should have energy. We should have bench space if they take the knockout. Then we will be able to get the knockout with Tapu Koko. We can attach the grass, use Koko, and then take the knockout on the Berserker on our opponent's bench. That has 120 HP, which is fantastic news for us. We can soften up the Zacian and then take the knockout on the Berserker, which really, really good. I don't know what attacker we're going to use after that, because I don't know what we're going to have left, but that's okay. We are going to quick... Wait, I've got energy. Yeah, I've got energy in this. Of course I've got energy in this couple. What am I talking about? Let's quick ball. I'm going to get rid of the Sonya. We're going to grab ourselves our Tapu Koko. We can put that down and then pop it, which is great. Not only do we get the energy attachment to our Raikou, but we can also put some more onto Rayquaza, which I like. It means that we do have the potential to get an attack off with that later on. We can quick ball, get rid of Viridian Forest. We don't really need that anymore. I'm going to grab Oricorio. Since they didn't knock the Dedenne out, this is a free bench because they still have to take 2 knockouts to win this game. There's no way that they can just take 3 and win it from there. Do I use Viridian before I Oricorio, or do I just Oricorio? Oh, I could probably Dream of Revelation, actually. That seems like a good idea. This fighting energy is looking pretty tasty, because that's an attachment to Rayquaza next turn. Then we'll use Dance of Tribute, grab ourselves some extra cards. We've got Boss, which is good. I don't think we realistically have an attacker next turn. What we could do... is, if I was thinking about this... Oh, hang on, no. Don't worry about it. Ignore me. Ignore me. We'll discard the Jirachi. We'll grab ourselves a fighting energy. And then we will move on with our life. We will retreat into Raikou. And then Amazing Shot. This seems fine. Take the knockout on the Berserker. Actually, no, that was dumb. That was dumb. Okay. So. Hear me out. I should have gusted up the Crobat. Because if I gust up the Crobat, I can attach to Zamazenta and knock it out because I've got double boss. Should have done that. Now I'm going to rely on a potential... Well, I've got to find a heads flip first, but I'm going to rely on a Turbo Patch and a heads flip there to get this Rayquaza attacking. Unless they get a knockout on one of my GX Pokemon, in which case I might be able to find a belt, possibly. Yeah, no, should definitely have gusted up the Crobat there. That would have been a much smarter play. It's okay. It's okay, because we've still got a lot of cards to look at, but we are now reliant on a Turbo Patch flip, which we can probably still get, but I'd much prefer to just be winning. That's okay. We've got a research now, so we can go for that as well. Let's Dance of Tribute. We'll draw 3 cards. We do not have ourselves a Turbo Patch yet. we are going to need to find one. There is one left in the deck. Okay, so we've got a potential chance to find it. We need to flip heads on it. Oh my god, I feel so bad. I definitely should have done the Gust, especially knowing that I wasn't going to get Marnie. Let's Dreamy Revelation, take a look. There's the Turbo Patch. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we now need to hit heads on this Turbo Patch to win the game. Here we go. Whew. Whew. That was a close one. And there's the victory. Oh, let's just ignore the end of that game, because that didn't have to be 50-50. Into another one, and we are up against Mad Party here. Fair enough too, Mad Party's a very popular deck. Was recently featured on a very popular YouTube channel. I wouldn't say it's very popular, I'd just say a moderately popular YouTube channel. Yeah, so we're looking alright here. It's going to be really, really tough this game, because we are going to be... Okay, so we're going to be struggling to get knockouts on their Pokemon that aren't Bunnelby. Zamazenta's going to do some work for us in this one, because we can attack for 30 and get the weakness on the Bunnelby, but the thing is, we're both giving up one prize, and it's going to be so much more efficient for our opponent to get a knockout. I don't know how well this is going to go for us, but we'll give it a crack. So I'm never one to shy away from a challenge. There's 2 Bunnelbys in the field, 3 Bunnelbys in the field, so that means we're going to potentially be able to get some knockouts, plus the Dedenne, plus the Teapot. Okay. Alright. So, as long as we can knock out each of these Bunnelbys efficiently, we should be okay. We should be okay. Let's see how we go. Alrighty. We've got a Jirachi, which I like. Let's play that down. We'll put the air balloon on that. Then I'm going to attach a Fighting Energy to our Zamazenta. We get a Heads. We only have a Lightning Energy in the discard pile. Maybe I should have done something else there. Let's research. We'll see how we go. A Raikou. This could be a very popular and powerful attacker. Another Heads on Turbo Patch. Okay. Alright then. Well, I wonder whether or not this is going to be as difficult as I thought. Let's use Amazing Shield. I may as well deal 360 damage. It's effectively the same. We're in a really good spot if we weren't playing Mad Party, because this Zamazenta is just going to get knocked out. Like, it is literally 100% getting knocked out this turn. So, that is a concern. There was no way for me to get the energy from the discard pile into the Raikou, which I would have much preferred. The Turbo Patch flips have done us a solid there regardless, but maybe I should have held on to it to try and get maybe the Metal Energy instead of the Lightning one. Then I could have gone for Tapu Koko. I am going to need this Raikou to do some work for me, because I feel like that's going to be the way I get ahead on the prize trade, right? Is use Raikou to take knockouts on a couple of different Pokemon. There's a Scoop Up there getting rid of one of the Bunnelbys and trading it away. So identifying the fact that the Zamazenta is going to be a powerful attacker here. And they've also got the Theone too, which is quite annoying. They're going to use it here. I think we just sacrifice the Jirachi, because I would much rather keep my Pokemon with energy. And this is going to mean that I've got another turn to attach energy to Raikou, which is really, really good. And as long as our opponent doesn't play down Mew, we should be okay. Another Zamazenta. That's perfect. Okay, so we're going to play the Air Balloon. We're going to play the Grass Energy. We're going to play down Zamazenta. And then I'm going to Professor's Research. I'm going to try and find some new cards here. We've got a Turbo Patch. I don't really need to play this. There's only Grass Energy in the discard pile. There's nothing that we really want to attach Grass to. We could use the Zacian, but I don't think we need to. Let's knock out the Bunnelby, and we'll see what we can do. We've got Sonia for next turn to try and find ourselves a Metal, which is great. And if our opponent doesn't play down Mew, then we are sitting pretty. We'll be able to get rid of both of our opponent's Poltergeists next turn. They're going to gust up the Raikou though. Okay, so they've identified this is an attacker that we need to get rid of. Fair enough. That's really disappointing. It would have been really, really good, though there is technically a possibility that we could get a Raikou attack off this turn. It's just a shell. Oh, well, there's a Mew. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. We now need to gust the Mew to get the attack off. So Raikou is no longer a good attacker for us. It's a bit awkward to say the very least. Tool Scrapper, talk about awkward. Getting rid of the air balloon there. Mad Party takes the knockout. I guess the good thing that they're in front means that we are going to potentially get some value out of our fighting belts. There's the Tapu Koko. We can play that down. We can Quick Ball, get rid of the Zacian. Not particularly useful here. Let's grab another Raikou, because you never know. You never know when you are going to need some of these cards. I really want this Turbo Patch in my hand to flip heads to get a Grass Energy. It might be worth playing the Sonya, though, just to guarantee the metal attachment. Let's Turbo Patch. Heads? No. Okay. Well, I mean, we had a good run. These Psychic Energy are bad. If they were any different energy, that would be way better. Let's just Marnie them away. That's the thing that I really don't like about this deck, is that the Psychic Energy are not useful in matchups like this, where you're desperately fighting to try and get some advantage. We do have the Oricorio, though. Let's quick ball away this Rayquaza. It's not particularly useful here. We can grab, I don't know, this Jirachi. Seems fine. And then we can use Dance of Tribute. Try and grab ourselves some more cards. We find the Lightning Energy, which is good, but I kind of wanted to use Tapu Koko to get that. I would have much rather to have attached a Fighting or a Metal Energy, because now the Tapu Koko is much less useful. But it's okay, we take a prize and we go to 3 remaining. Interesting game. I feel like they're on top, but we do have an opportunity. We've got one more Turbo Patch. If we flip heads on that, we can potentially get somewhere. We've got the boss's orders in hand, where we could get a knockout on a Mew, potentially. So there's always opportunities. Professor's Research, our opponent drawing a fresh 7. You never know, we might be able to get a win by deck out as well, because Mad Party does tend to go through their deck quite quickly. There's the triple acceleration. They're going to use Familiar Bell as well. So maybe we could get a win based on that here. They're going to take a knockout. Let's just see how many energy they've used. They've used 3 triple accel and 2 twin. Okay, so this is a weird one. I think it's best to promote this Zamazenta. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to... Oh, actually, let's Dance of Tribute. Draw some more cards. I'll put the air balloon down here. So it's 3 and 2, isn't it? 3 and 2. Let's gust up this Dedenne and see if they can hold out. 5 and 10. Okay, so we're going to gust up the Dedenne. We're going to Metal Armament and set this thing up to attack. Our opponent needs to attach energy to retreat, because they don't play switch cards. Or at least most Mad Party lists that I've seen don't play switch cards. Hopefully, one of their twin energies is prized, because they need to attach to the Bunnelby now. Professor's Research. Okay. So they either have it or they don't. Because what they're going to do here is they're going to... Yep, okay, so they're going to put the Fion on the bottom of the deck, so they have a card to draw. They either have Boss Energy in hand, and they win, or they don't, and I win. Now let's keep playing as if this game is going to continue, but even Marnie here means I can't get the win, unfortunately. I would need to do something else to win to win this game. I'd need to force them to draw a card, or otherwise. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just a path and hope, honestly. Because if they have the Gust and the Energy, then they just win. There's just been really, really good resource management from our opponent to get themselves to a position where they can guarantee the win if they can. They have a boss, and they have the twin as well. That was just, yeah, that was exceptionally well played from our opponent, giving themselves, literally using every single one of their resources to win that game, which, hey, that deserves to be in the video, right? Even though I lost. One last game, I reckon, and we are paired off against another Jirachi. That's pretty impressive. Let's quick ball away this Lightning Energy. I don't know what we're playing against yet, so I kind of don't want to make any strong commitments. So I'm going to grab Raikou, because Raiku's good in any matchup, right? I can use it in any matchup. Rayquaza's also good in any matchup, so I'll play that down. We'll grab the Oricorio. I didn't realize I don't have a supporter in hand. Whoops. Whoops! That's okay. I'm going to have to just hope here that we have a solid game plan, because... Yeah. Let's just... I've got a Lightning Energy. If I can Turbo Patch... Heads? Okay, so I can attack with Raikou. I can attack with Raikou next turn if I find a switch. Yeah, I'm in a rough spot here. Didn't check for the Dedenne either, so... Whoops. It's a reason to check your deck. Someone mentioned the other day that I don't check my deck often enough. And you know what? They're right. I really should do it more frequently. Otherwise, you end up in positions like this where your hand is Oricorio Grass Energy, and that's perfectly fine unless you go up against a deck that doesn't take a knockout. And I don't know what we're playing against. Yeah, we could be playing ADP. We could be playing any number of things. It's got Fighting Energy, so it might be Colossal. Could be Phalanx. It's Colossal. Okay. So yeah, we're not getting knocked out next turn. So we're just going to have to sit quietly here and hope for the best. Final Lightning Energy off of the top deck. We're going to attach the grass and then discard that Lightning Energy to grab ourselves, I don't know, what do we need? Like grass for the... Fighting for the... Grass? Fighting? Grass. Grass for the Rayquaza. And then we can Dreamy Revelation and, ooh, a Quick Ball. Okay, so let's hope that Dedenne is in the deck. Because if it is, we can Quick Ball for it right now. Let's get rid of this Grass Energy and grab our... Oh. Well... That was a mistake. Okay, let's grab another Jirachi then. We'll play that down just in case they do knock out the one in the active. And our last card is Oricorio, so we are in trouble. We're in deep, deep trouble. Big, big trouble. We are in big, big trouble. Hopefully, they take a knockout. And, ooh, Oranguru. Now, Oranguru, ladies and gentlemen, has 120 HP, so we can... take a knockout on that one pretty easily with Raikou, which is good. But unfortunately, Colossal is going to reduce the effectiveness of our Amazing Shot attack by quite a lot. Amazing Burst from Rayquaza could be good. I just had a moment. All of the Amazing Rares have Amazing in their attack names. I'm about to say something here. When I first started playing the card game, I didn't realise that the supporters were all characters from the games. And then I went back and played some of the old games, and I was like, all of the supporters are characters from these games. And I don't know why I thought that that wouldn't happen. I just didn't think about it. And it's the same as the deck that I'm playing here. We have got absolutely nothing going on, by the way. They didn't get a knockout on us, and I don't know what we're going to do. We just grab the Fighting, I guess, and attach it to the Rayquaza, and then Dreamy Revolution and hope. Okay, well, like a boss, I guess, is fine. I mean, the Jirachi is probably better because we can discard it. But yeah. So I just realised that they were all amazing. All the Amazing Rares have an attack that has Amazing in the name. Oh, they were attacking. We've done it. Okay. We're back in the game, people. They've attacked. We are ready to go. Raikou into the active. We've got a Oricorio that is about to absolutely pop off. And we can use Boss's Orders to potentially put some damage onto a benched Pokemon if we'd like. If we'd like to do that, we can. Now, I feel like our opponent is going to try and evolve this into a Colossal VMAX. It might be worth putting some extra energy on the active. Although, I do like the idea... we could bring up the Colossal V. It's got a big retreat cost, but it could attack next turn. Let's bring up the Crobat. Then we can Oh, actually, we should probably do some discarding here, right? We should probably get some other cards out of our deck. Let's grab the Grass Energy. Because we don't want to embarrass ourselves. We want to attach to this Rayquaza this turn, right? We will put 120 damage on the Crobat and knock out the Oranguru. It's going to make it a little bit harder for them to get an attack off with Colossal VMAX. We get a prize. Sonya. But that's okay. And if we get another Raikou at some point during the game, this Crobat is as good as dead. Because if we get an Amazing Shot off, we'll be able to deal 120 damage to that Raikou. To the Crobat. And then we will be as good as gold. Now we're getting Marnied. Okay, so we're going to see some fresh cards here. I'm not too upset. Marnie also means that Oricorio likely stays alive, which is, again, very important. In a deck like this, we've got Turbo Patch and Air Balloon, which are two good cards to have. Especially when our only attacker is going to be knocked out here. We could potentially get a Turbo Patch to bring some energy to the Rayquaza. Which would... Oh, Rayquaza? I've said Rayquaza all my life, except for that moment. I'm doing it again, guys. I'm going crazy. Boulder Crush. Okay. That's a lot of damage. They still haven't evolved this thing. We could knock this out with Rayquaza here. I mean, we won't have our fantastic We won't have our that's just heads. Sick. That's good. What do we need? Fighting? No. Lightning? Let's put metal. Because then, if we put down the metal, we get the metal. Then, when we Marnie, we could potentially have played down the Zacian. Should I have played down the Zacian? No, that's Marnie. When we Marnie into another Raikou with this quick ball. We grab ourselves a maybe not a Raikou. I don't know, I'm second guessing myself all the time here. Let's quick ball. Let's get rid of the Viridian Forest. Let's grab the Tapu Koko. That seems like a card I'd want, because then I can at least get an attack off. Let's Dreamy Revelation. Oh, I should have used Oricorio first. Stupid idiot. Oh my god. Oh, I should have Viridian Forest Oricorio. Oh my god, I'm playing so badly. This is fine. Because Rayquaza can still get knockouts, so this is fine. We're going to attach the lightning energies to both of these Rayquazas. Then, I probably attach a Psychic to the second Rayquaza. Because I'm doing 816, 240, 320, minus a bunch. I'm still going to knock this thing out. I think I attach the Psychic to the bench Rayquaza. I think that's the right play. And then we Amazing Burst, get the knockout on the active. And hopefully, we are able to win the game from here. We've got a fighting energy. We have a karate, but we didn't need that. That's bad. That's bad for us. But we're ready. We're raring to go. We've got everything that we could possibly need. We just need 3 prizes on the board and the ability to knock them out. And Rayquaza could potentially do that. There's the 3 prizes. Okay, here we go. It's going to happen. I'm not going to win the game with Raikou. I'm going to win the game by knocking out a Colossal with a Rayquaza. What they're going to do is they're going to attach an energy here and they're going to attack into us. We resist, which means we're not going to die. We take 100 damage. It means we get an extra turn to attach some energy here. So I can attach the fighting, I guess. Let's use the Turbo Patch. No dice, that's okay. We can discard this Karate Belt. We can grab ourselves a metal. No, we need grass. Oh no, we don't have any grass left. Oh boy. Metal? Is it just metal? Metal? Do we grab... Let's just do nothing. Let's just panic and do nothing. And then we can Sonya. Grab ourselves Raikou. And maybe Zamazenta. Maybe Jirachi. Maybe Zacian. Zamazenta I like better. We don't really need any of these cards. I'm going to put the Raikou down. We might as well put the Zamazenta down because we can attach the belt. And then we're going to pass. And it was a very eventful turn. The good thing about this is it will give us an opportunity to fall behind. Our opponent takes a knockout on this Rayquaza. I didn't realize how much I was going to miss Oricorio that turn. But I can attach a Grass Energy to the Rayquaza next turn if we find a Turbo Patch or if we find a Ordinary Rod to put the back into the deck. Then we'll be able to deal 300 damage, 320 damage, which is almost a knockout to the Colossal. Almost. That was going to be 300 because of the Stone Energy, so it's going to have 30 HP left. Oh, but that's okay because we've got an attack in Zamazenta that can deal 30 damage. Oh, but it'll be reduced by 20 because of the Stone Energy. That's the reason we need that. Oh, my god. Okay. My brain is working at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I'm not doing a particularly good job of organising my thoughts here. There's the knockout. They're going to attach another energy to this Colossal. We're going to promote Jirachi. I think we need to attack with Rayquaza this turn, because if they gust it and knock it out, I cannot win. So let's research. Draw a bunch of cards. There's the Rod, which I desperately wanted. I can use that to put some Pokemon and some energy back in the deck. I'm going to put the, I don't know, Jirachi and Raikou, I guess. Whatever. Raikou's good, because I like it. Let's put a couple of grass back in, because there's one of every other type left in the deck, so we may as well. Then, what we can do is we can Quick Ball. We can get rid of Professor's Research, because I don't think I'm going to need that again. We'll grab Raikou out of the deck. Then we can use Viridian Forest to thin that Raikou back to the discard pile to grab the Grass Energy. We can attach that Grass Energy to Rayquaza in a second, but first Dance of Tribute just to see what we can get. We've got a lot of energy here. Let's Dreamy Revelation. I like the idea of keeping the research on the top. I'm guaranteed to get the research next turn. So if we get Marnied, I can at least draw some more cards. Let's attach the energy. Let's retreat this thing. Let's deal 300 damage to this Rayquaza, and we will figure out how to deal the last 30 in a second. 300 damage to the Colossal. I said to the Rayquaza, I'm aware of it, I'm choosing to ignore it. How do I get an extra 20 damage onto this Colossal? So I'm going to need to... So I'll fall behind, I attach a medal. I've already used Coco, so I'm going to need a coin flip for it. Because I've got the Zamazenta on the bench, so there is an opportunity still to win. I just need to find Turbo Patch. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Martial Arts Dojo. We're about to fall behind. Okay, we're being manied. We're about to fall behind. If I attach a basic fighting energy to Zamazenta, I will deal an extra 40 damage, which will be enough to get the knockout on the Colossal. So, okay, we are in a position to win this game. And it's a good thing I put that research on the top, because now I can use it to discard this hand before I do something stupid. We don't need to play down the Viridian Forest, because if we play down the Viridian Forest, then we don't get the extra damage, so that's just research. We've got 12 cards left, we're drawing 7 of them. Then, we Oricorio and we Dreamy Revelation, we see every single card in the deck, so we have to get it, we're guaranteed to get it! Oh my god, I accidentally played amazingly, we found the fighting, and we're gonna retreat! Oh, they've given us the win! The Martial Arts Dojo gives us the win, we deal 50, we take a knockout for 3 prizes! We didn't even have the Turbo Patch left, we would have lost if he hadn't played it! That was a game and a half. I really should have where is it? Over here? Over here, I should have a picture of the stadium, Fighting Fury Stadium. What's it called? Dojo. I should have a picture of Dojo because that was the MVP today. This deck's great. Like, it's great fun. Thank you to Todd for sharing it. If you want to see it, there's a link to his channel in the description, so you can go and check him out. He's a much better player than I am, so you know he edits his videos really well as well. I think he's got a guy for that. Should I get a guy for editing? I don't have any money. What am I talking about? Thank you everyone for coming past. I appreciate your support. I'm thinking about doing Decidueye next, so if you're around in a couple of days' time, that could be the deck that we take a look at. Thank you everyone for your continued support. Like the video so that more people can see it. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know you're probably not. You know you're probably just seeing the videos because, you know, they come up on your feed and you like them and keep watching them, but you're not subscribed, so check that. And otherwise, thank you very much for coming along. I'm going to stop waving my arms around. My camera can't keep up with it. Goodbye, everyone, he says as he waves his arms around one more time. Embarrassment.